Herdling is a bit of a weird one. It's a fun little experience that doesn't do anything fantastic, but also doesn't disappoint in what it's trying to show and tell you. So let's just get right into it. This is a much smaller experience that took me just shy of maybe 3 hours. Mind you, this game is $25. To be blunt, that is too expensive for this experience. I'll get into the bigger points as we continue this review, but the game itself is very basic, minimal, and short. And I think the cost of a game should reflect this. Maybe $15 would have been good for this at maximum. This type of experience, it's not something that controls amazingly. It doesn't have any impressive mechanics or visuals or anything close to being fresh and new with its design. It lacks that sticking power to allow for a higher cost. A similar game, Keeper, which I will also be doing a review for, is $30, so they're roughly in the same ballpark, and I think that the cost for that one is very appropriate. It was a game that took me a little more than 4 hours to complete it, so they're similar in length as well. As much as they're comparative, it provided such a new experience that was exciting, fun, and gorgeous throughout. But I digress. Herdling, on the other hand, does none of this. Yes, the idea of handling a herd and managing this for very minimal puzzle mechanics and moving throughout the world is a bit unique, but it doesn't use this to any success. The puzzles aren't based around having a herd. I never really felt like I was managing a group of individual animals. Instead, it was just like a sort of random gathering of little hairy goat cow dudes that I got to name, and then, well, they just came together into a herd. A larger group of creatures that just kind of followed the same mindset together. Outside of how you discover these creatures, and you do get to name them, they aren't unique in any way, shape, or form. They do nothing special, they don't contribute to gameplay or anything outside of just expanding the size of your herd, which allows you to obtain more boost in the open world areas, allowing for a very small amount of speed in these very specific moments. It felt pretty lacking. It felt small, and in a game that could have been so much more, it had so much potential, it drops the ball. The world felt like it was starting to open up and become more interesting, just to end pretty abruptly. Small spoilers here, there are bird-like creatures that you run from as they swoop down to attack you and your herd, and these allow for some pretty tense moments where you're on the edge of your seat as you guide your little creatures through environments, where if you bump into something, it'll make a little bit of noise and it'll alert these bird creatures to attack you. I never got to a point where I reached like a game over screen from this happening, but the animals got a little bit bloody and I'm guessing they maybe could have died. But it was mostly simple in the gameplay. Even for this section and all the others as well, it had no challenge. I collected a ton of these little dudes to join my herd though. I named them all with the random generator, which I found to be pretty funny, so I just kept sticking with that. You can find ornaments out in the open areas that allow for a little bit of customization for your guys, but it comes out to be nothing special. And as I made it to the end of this game, I thought, well, was it a bad experience? And the answer is no. The graphics are decent enough, the movement is okay at best. The music is on the better side of good though. It has ambient tones that flow and dynamically change based on the actions that you're currently performing. This is probably the best aspect of Herdling, but without anything that truly stuck out or gave it a push in the right direction. Herdling just feels a bit aimless, without much to say and without much to do. So I can't really recommend this game at full cost. Maybe if you can get it like half off or so, I say go for it. Where as long as you don't go in expecting too much, you'll more than likely enjoy yourself. I played this game on Game Pass, so of course much cheaper to be able to play it there. But it was an extremely linear experience that never really takes the time to build into something more, and for that it gets left behind by similar games who have more to say and more to show. But I hope you enjoyed this review of Herdling. It's a smaller one here, quick and simple. But of course, if you enjoyed it, please do all the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, yada yada, all that junk, right? And I will see you next time.